Hi, so this is my presentation on intelligence and the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, or the WAIS test. So first I'm going to define what intelligence is, and intelligence varies culture to culture and doesn't necessarily refer to just academic success. So intelligence basically is the qualities that help you succeed in whatever culture or era that you're in. And there are four main theories. The first one being Spearman's general intelligence. And he theorized that there was just a basic intelligence, which he said was a lowercase g, that predicts our abilities in all other sort of academic areas. The second one is Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, and he believed that our abilities could be categorized into 8 or 9 different intelligences, and these different intelligences went beyond just academic success or academic success. And then there is Sternberg's triarchic theory, and he believed that there were 3 categories of intelligences, and those would be analytical, creative, and practical, and those would be able to define how well, would be able to predict our real world success. And then lastly, there's emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is a big part in social intelligence, and it basically is the way that we perceive and understand and manage and use our emotions, and basically how well we do all of that is an indicator of how successful we are in our lives. So intelligence can be tested through tests, and they can be categorized into aptitude or achievement tests. Aptitude tests aptitude tests can predict how well we are going to learn a new skill. Like, for example, like your ACT, your SAT, your college entrance exams can predict how well you'll perform in college. And then achievement tests show how well we have learned something. It reflects how well we've learned something. And in order for a test to be good, it needs to be standardized, reliable, and valid. So the test that I chose was the WAIS, and there's actually 2 versions of the WAIS, one for preschool children and then one for just school children. And there are actually 15 subsets, and if you look at this graphic right here, you can see all the different subsets. For example, similarities, which is sort of your ability to be able to find commonality between 2 things, like describe what sheep and wool have in common. And then you have like vocabulary, you have block design or visual spatial reasoning, and letter number sequencing. And then for your results, you're going to have an overall intelligence score, and then you're going to have individual scores for each of these subsets. So you'll get a score for verbal comprehension, perceptual reasoning, working memory, processing speed. And the average score is around 100. So the reason why the WAIS is the most common intelligence test administered is probably because it's standardized, it's reliable, and valid, which makes it a good test. So in respects to it being standardized, the WAIS is periodically re-standardized so that the average score can stay within or around 100. And so, for example, if you were to take the WAIS now, your scores wouldn't be compared to those in the 1930s when the test was first administered. And then the WAIS is also reliable. And for a test to be reliable, it just basically means that you need to have consistent scores no matter how many times you've taken it. And so basically that means that researchers will have people retake the WAIS over and over and over again to test its reliability. And so basically the higher the correlation between all of those scores means that are the higher the validity, the higher the reliability of the test is. And the WAIS is very, very reliable. It has a correlation coefficient of +9, which is really good. And then lastly, the WAIS is considered valid. Now, just because a test is highly reliable does not mean that it's valid. So researchers have to use something called predictive reliability, which just basically means that they need to look at the extremely low scores and the extremely high scores of the test, so the extremes of the normal curve, and need to see a very, very big difference between the two. And basically, if they see that there is a significant difference between the low scores and the high scores, they say that the test is reliable.